What's up, babes? Today we're making a video on a minimal amount of sleep. I wanted to start off the video by saying thanks to all the people because I haven't talked to you guys in a little bit, and the reason for that is because a lot of people have been editing some streams I've been doing. As you know, I stream Monday through Friday, except this Friday, I guess, but I'm going to New Mexico. I've been busy. I've been very busy. I moved. I upgraded the stream a little bit. We got some more lights and gadgets and stuff, and this green screen, obviously, which has this beautiful man here behind it. But yeah, credit to Lav, Herma, and Avenger Spencer for making me videos. I'll put their information down below. Just if you guys want to give them a follow, whether it be on Twitch or on Twitter. They do a lot of good work for me. But I feel like, and I don't know exactly the direction of this channel, I'm just kind of doing stream highlights and stuff, which seems just editing is good. I can't really edit, so I just kind of make these videos on a whim. Just kind of go out there and do them. Today I thought that we would do a theory on One Piece. I might just turn that into what I talk about as just theories, or have discussions with other people in regards to One Piece, just because there's so much to talk about. I love One Piece. It's the most active manga that I read that is just like banger week to week to week, especially what's going on now. But we're not going to really be talking about that a lot today. So this is taking place technically 10:40. We had a break this week. Which sucks, but Oda nailed 3 in a row. Was very happy about how all of that ended, but the video is about one specific type of Yonko, and that is red-haired Shanks. So, red hair is a character that we don't see a lot. Now, the title of this video is why he's the strongest, and I feel like that's a pretty easy claim to say at this point, just because we're seeing the other two in action right now, and if we believe, which I believe, some people think that the raid might end in failure, but I think that's kind of foolish at this point, just with everyone being down and out and there literally only being one person left on the roof. I think they kind of got it in the bag. Things are wrapping up too with the Marines on the way, and them about to crash into the Flower Capital itself. But like I said, this is not about them. This is about Shanks. So Shanks is the height of mystery in One Piece. He's someone that we know very little about, whose motivations are questionable, and there's a lot of theories about him because of that. A theory that I've seen before that I think is ridiculous is that Shanks is evil. Now, I feel like there's 3 solid reasons why this doesn't make sense. Luffy, Roger, Oda. I don't think Oda would ever write a character like this at this point in the story, and the reason I say that to build off the Oda third point is just there's already so many villain characters in here. We just don't really have time for another mysterious one to pop out at the end, especially not somebody who we've known from the beginning, who's given motivation to the main character in order to become the King of Pirates. But it just doesn't make any sense. It just, I don't see it. Him being the motivator for Luffy to do all this would just be the twist that I don't really think that we need at this point. He could be Emu-sama, but I don't see that happening either. That's probably Rocks. We're not 100% sure on that. And then Roger. I feel like that's going to taint Roger's legacy if Shanks turns out to be evil. What's great about this year is we do have film Red coming out, which is going to be great because we can finally, hopefully, see Shanks actually in action, actually making his move this year, hopefully. Now, at this point, after 2 decades of not really knowing much about Shanks, we get some clues that kind of tell us maybe what he's after. So the reason I say he's the strongest is because he's stood up to every single Yonko to date. He's fought just about all of them, I believe. And he's just, his motivators are different. Now, Big Mom and Kaido's motivator are, we want to be the King of Pirates. They decided to link up together using the poneglyphs in order to accomplish this goal. Now, what's interesting about Shanks is the fact that he doesn't really care too much about what seems like the poneglyphs or becoming King of the Pirates, even though I believe Oda said that he is the closest of the Yonko right now to becoming King of the Pirates. Now, I think that the King of the Pirates has more to do with information than it necessarily might have to do with strength, so that's not really my selling point here. My selling point is, I believe Oda also said that Shanks has one of the most powerful armies, fleets that he has, but we have to understand that he's using all this time for what? Where is Shanks? What is Shanks doing? Why is he always kind of on the move? The last time we saw him, he said that he's probably going to meet up with Luffy soon, but what is Shanks doing? Now, I went back and I read some of the chapters with Shanks. Of course, when he was in chapter 1 and got his arm eaten by the water lizard dragon guy, it kind of doesn't really hold water, but it's 1,000 chapters. There's going to be some blips like that in the system, so I don't really mind it as much. He's also someone that stood up to Mihawk. I could do an entire theory on why Mihawk is easily top 10, possibly even top 5 strength-wise in the series, just because of what Zoro's doing, the things that he's accomplishing. You gotta think that Mihawk is super duper strong, as the strongest swordsman in the world. Now, the debate could start to flutter around with the seagulls about to fly again, but I kinda doubt it. Now, Shanks meeting with the Gorosei. Now, a lot of people are questioning, why would he meet with the Gorosei? What are his relationships with all these different people? He seemed to come to peace terms with Kaido when he was on his way to Marineford, which is strange because Kaido's always somebody who wants to fight. He wanted to get involved. He wanted to do all these things. And yet he was able to stop him with what seems like a non-violent conflict. He was able to meet with the Gorosei and Son Goku respectively at Marineford. And there's a lot of questions being raised with that. Akainu respects him as well, yet he seems to hold a lot of grace within pirating as well. So where does that hold up with Shanks? I think that Shanks is kind of on the spectrum of knowing too much. There was also something very recently with the flashback of Odin where we learned a lot more about Roger and kind of Shanks being along for the ride there. Now, when Shanks did not go to Raftel, but when Roger returned from Raftel, whatever you want to call it, Shanks said, there was a little panel, and it said, Shanks asked him a question, and upon hearing the response, burst into tears, or started crying, or something like that. And I have to think that Shanks is just kind of on a different playing field. He knows something most pirates do not. That's why I believe that he is without a doubt stronger than Kaido and Big Mom, being able to kind of tell Kaido, hey man, chillax. Like, do you want to go? Chillax. He could have a fruit, he could not have a fruit. Talking with the Gorosei as well. Now, what he could have said or been talking with the Gorosei, the way that they approach him and say, we only gave you time because it's you. I'm trying to think and rationalize why they would care so much about what this man has to say. And I think it's because he's in the know. And I don't think there's a lot of people in the know. We're not even in the know as readers, but we're about to be in the know about something. So I have to think, what are his goals? Is he fighting some unknown force? Or is he preparing for something? I'm definitely leaning towards preparing for something. And now I think that as Endgame One Piece is coming, as the cleansing is being talked about more and more, he's been preparing for this moment for a while. Now, even the Gorosei, being the highest ranking officials in the military as a whole, they might fear Imu-sama themselves. They might fear the power that he is. And Shanks, being somebody who is probably the most powerful force in the world at this moment, is someone that they can kind of look at and just be like, all right, like if things start to go down, we can work together, or else this man is going to wipe out the entirety of everything and everyone. Because right now the Gorosei is in good graces with Imu-sama, but I would say that the meeting with Shanks almost guarantees that they're scared of something, and I can't think of anything else that they'd be scared of besides the person that they're bowing down to. Someone who's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, like the Gorosei, and yet they're still concerned or interested about the opinion of somebody who, I believe Shanks is like 40 or 50 in the series, something like that, but he's preparing. And with him about to meet Luffy, all of this is about to hit the fan like now. Whether it be in Elbaf, whether it be on the way to Raftel, I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work out. I think Luffy will probably go there by himself. I also saw that Shanks said that he's probably going to go with Buggy at some point. We don't know where Buggy's at. Last time we saw him, he was fighting off the Marines. But it's just interesting what Shanks has gone through during his history. Having a relationship with Mihawk, having a very strong relationship with the government. Is Shanks evil? I don't think so. I think whatever Shanks is plotting or preparing for is something that he's going to get everyone on board for. The biggest thing that I will say about Shanks is he is somebody who quells. He is somebody who calms forces from fighting one another. He is someone that I think understands the importance of numbers coming to the end of this series. When I say he's in the know, the great cleansing is coming, right? I believe he knows this. I believe he understands that that's something that's going to happen, that the world is in danger, and that with the power that he has, he is somewhat responsible for saving as many lives as possible. And this is shown in so many ways that I can't say enough about Shanks. Saving Luffy at the very beginning, whether he knew or not what Luffy would maybe become. He has to know the will of D as well, but stopping Kaido from going to Marineford because he understood that the casualties and amount of damage that would have been caused by that would have been too much. I believe that the reason he didn't want that is because even he knows that Imu-sama is somebody who would be able to take out Kaido, Whitebeard, and himself all in one go. So Shanks is biding time, preparing for the will of D. Another reason for that, he stops the war. Even the Whitebeard remnants are playing a big part now, and I think he understands that the more people he saves, by the end with this gigantic war arc that we're probably about to see coming, he understands that they need as many people as possible. He is saving lives left and right, I'm telling you. He is really only being seen stopping things from happening, relaxing conflicts, all this stuff, but also bringing up concerns. He has the resources of the Marines on his side, which is why I believe that he has the confidence to speak to the Gorosei, which that was clearly not the first time that he's met with them, or other probably ranking officials of the Marines, but he's someone that I think is reporting certain things that might be happening. Is he a Marine? No. That would also kill it. That'd be just as bad as him being evil, just because he is also somebody who believes in freedom. Since the get-go, from when we met him, he talks about what it means to be a pirate. Having been with Roger again, like I said, it's the same reasons why Shanks can't be bad and why he's doing something super important. I believe Roger had such a deep effect on him, especially after Laugh Tale, especially after he was executed, that Shanks believes how important it is to save lives and how important it is to prepare for whatever is coming. Because I think whatever question that he might have asked Roger was answered with something in the future. And ever since that time, it seems like Shanks has been preparing. Not only himself physically, with duels with Mihawk and various Yonko, but gathering lives, making relationships, and preparing for what's going to be the great cleansing war of all of One Piece. Now, I think that that's what's going to be that ends it, because I don't even think that Roger cracked the surface as much as we're about to see very soon with Luffy. And Luffy being kind of the will of D protagonist who's going to take all this on himself, where yes, he's going to become the king of pirates, but the ultimate final thing that he's going to do is destroy the kingdom, the large organization, large thing that Imu-sama created in order to control the world. And if there's one thing we know that Luffy does not like, it is control. And I think at this point, Shanks doesn't even seem that concerned with Luffy. He's just very proud and about him. But I think after he defeats Kaido, which it looks like it's going to happen, he's going to explain to him that, hey, you're basically the chosen one at this point. We need the will of D. We need all these people in order to stop these people. Enemies are going to turn into good guys. And Shanks is just going to be like the visionary, the general when all this is taking place, because he's somebody who's been in the know for a while. He's someone that's been preparing for a while, and with the brains of Ben Beckman on his side, I can only imagine what he has planned in store for Imu-sama. Even though he understands himself that he would not be able to take him out, he has done enough to prepare, I think, to give the world a fighting chance so that they do not get cleansed again. Because it's been 800 years since the Void Century, and it looks like that's about to happen again if Imu-sama gets his way. But we'll see. Who knows? I'm excited for next week's chapter. I think we're finally going to maybe get a Kaido flashback, which will probably give us more insight to kind of some of the stuff that I'm talking about with Shanks, with the end of One Piece. But I'm very excited that we're kind of turning that corner, and I think Shanks' movie Red will give us even more insight. So I'm excited. I hope you guys have a great Friday. I'm uploading this shit right now. I'm probably taking a nap when I do that. Peace out.